Hello friends, welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan.
And I am Josh.
You always act surprised by that part.
That I'm Josh? Yes, I am very surprised.
Thank you all for stopping by today. We wanted to do a question and answer session to celebrate having 4,000 subscribers. We are so honored that 4,000 of you want to hang out with us. So we put up a call on our Instagram as well as Facebook and in one of our videos last month saying, you know, we're close to 4,000. Give us your questions. Any questions, as long as they're appropriate, we're happy to answer them.
My questions were immediately disqualified.
It's true. We're hanging out on the front porch. It's suddenly very breezy, and as always happens when I come out to film something, we'll suddenly have a lot of cars driving by on our rural road, so I apologize in advance for the noise. Our first question is from Real Housewife Rachel on Instagram.
Thank you, Real Housewife Rachel.
She says, do you have clothes in the washer that need to be moved to the dryer? I don't right now. That's a good question though.
It's usually a yes.
It's usually a yes.
Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
I love wind chimes and I never hear them until I'm sitting out here trying to film. I have a whole bunch on the front of the house right here. Never hear them unless I'm trying to film. So I am a serial let the laundry mold person.
Yeah, have to rewash things multiple times.
I do, it's true.
I think there was one time last year where you had to rewash the same load like 4 times.
It's not super uncommon here, sadly. So thank you for the reminder, Rachel. I actually just got the boys' bed sheets going, so we're good there. Heidi at Boy Boss Mama on Instagram asks, were you always Mrs. Green Thumbs or did you teach yourself? A little of both. A little of both. I was raised on a farm doing gardening, but honestly, it was a chore. I didn't pay attention to what we were doing, why. I just did what I was told. And as much as I had exposure to doing things in the garden and such, I didn't actually understand it or pay attention to how to do it. So when it came time to do it for myself, I had to research and be self-taught in a lot of things. I
think the best vegetables come from cans. They're fresher. Have you ever had sweet corn from a can?
Yes.
And baby sweet peas?
Those are disgusting.
Oh, they're so good.
The next question is from my husband, and I won't be reading it on camera.
Where is it? Oh.
The next question is from Whole Picture Home on Instagram, and she asks, can I grow dandelion greens in a pot on the patio? Dandelions grow really well in our yard here. I have never tried to plant them specifically. The greens are just what you get from the plant. I do know they have a super long taproot, so I am sure you could grow them. They are a very hardy vegetable leaf plant. But they have that super long root, so you're going to want a really tall plant so that it has plenty of root.
Taproot also had many radio hits in the 1990s.
Another question from Whole Picture Home, can you do a live stream again? Yes, we love doing live streams. We don't do them super often because honestly we just don't make the time for them. But we do love doing them, and we try to do one probably about once a month. Sadbuster Living on Instagram asks, what do you wish people knew about you?
For me, since I work as a security professional, I am not comfortable with these types of questions. So my answer would be less. I wish people knew less about me.
If I were to answer that question, the guinea pig has a lot to say about it right now. I would say I am not super mom. I'm not super mom. I get so many amazing comments and people both on YouTube and Instagram, and people who know us in person but don't really know us well or spend a lot of time around us make comments a lot to the effect that I am just this amazing cook, amazing mother, and just incredible skilled person.
She is many of those things.
It's not true though. I do what I do and we live the way we would live out of necessity. I did not know how to cook until I taught myself, because my kid had 11 billion allergies and I had to read labels and could buy almost nothing. So I learned to buy raw ingredients and I learned how to cook them through trial and error.
When you have a child that has a soy allergy, you find that you can't buy many things from a store that are pre-made because there's soy lecithin in them.
And vegetable oil.
And
vegetable oil is soybean oil.
Soybean, yeah.
So
you're forced to make everything from scratch.
Bread, all sorts of things.
Yep.
And then when Aaron was born and we had to get rid of like all preservatives of any kind, and he couldn't have nightshades, and he couldn't even have apples or chicken or turkey or eggs or pork. You just, you have to learn a lot about using the things you can use. So life has kind of forced me to figure that out. Mm-hmm. And as for being super mom, I'm not. Mariah Babcock on Instagram says, do you compost and how? I don't.
You kind of did.
I have tried. I have a whole setup out back that I tried for multiple years to compost. And it always goes anaerobic and gets nasty, stanky, and I would still pour it on the garden before it got warm in the spring, so it was cold and the smell wouldn't be as bad. But I mean, I have so many people, I have gone to seasoned gardeners both on YouTube and in person and been like, hey, tell me your secret to like a compost pile or a compost bin, because I am terrible at it and I need to know how to do it. And they're like, oh, it's easy, you just do this. I'm like, I have tried to do that. Yeah. I am missing something important.
I think that's my favorite part of having chickens now, is that we don't compost.
Yes. Yep, and now we have chickens and they eat everything. Literally everything.
We give them garbage and they give me eggs.
Yep, they turn it into eggs and their own form of fertilizer. Which, I mean, you don't have to do anything with that.
Nope.
They put it where it needs to be.
And I can go out my back door and not smell filth.
Yep, Mariah, I wish I had a good answer for you. I'm horrible at composting. I can't do it. It's bad. What have been our least favorite and our favorite videos?
I don't know. Least favorite.
I did some pretty gnarly ones at the beginning a few years ago with my cell phone, where like I wasn't holding my phone properly and I didn't grasp it. I just was like, oh, people say you can use your smartphone. Good, I'll use my smartphone. And then I would like go to the old YouTube studio editor to edit it, and I'd be like, I can't do anything with this. But I wasn't gonna delete it, so I did my best and put it up. The content is still fine, but yeah. Basic noob mistakes.
I would say my least favorite video would be any video that I'm not in.
It's true.
Which, coincidentally,
makes everything amazing.
Every video I'm in is my favorite video.
It's true.
I watch them all day on repeat. So if a video has 300 views, I'm assuming it's 300 views from me.
My favorite video? There are some homestead updates over the last couple of years that I just love watching, because it'll be at the peak of growing things and everything is just lush and green and it just looks so beautiful and productive. And like, it's awesome to see the kids, you know, walking through a huge, beautiful, green producing garden. Those make me happy. What do you love most about making videos? I like being able to share our hearts. Honestly, I know I'm not awesome at the whole videography and editing thing. And, but the reason that we do this is to share our hearts. So many people ask me questions daily about how I do this. And for the longest time, I was just inundated with Facebook messages, which I am really grateful that people see me as someone who has wisdom and experience to share. I am really, really honored that I can do that and help people in that way. And honestly, it's a lot easier to get these questions and make a video on them so that, you know, if more than just that person is wondering, it's there to help anyone who's looking for that information. Speaking of which, I have another question, excuse me, from Whole Picture Home about dealing with babies and toddlers and kids, specifically with autism and sensory processing disorder in church, which I am working on a whole separate video on. So I didn't want her to think that I had forgotten her question.
I thought you did because you skipped right past it.
Well, I was going to come back to it because I'm doing an entire separate video on it. Another question I know we received on Facebook, that Facebook, you know, everybody knows Facebook and Instagram died yesterday and it caused a worldwide crisis. They're back alive, but they're glitchy today, so I wasn't able to get it.
I wasn't even aware. I have my own addiction. It's video games. So
that's one thing Josh wishes he knew about him. He doesn't care about social media at all, but he really cares about video games.
They're fun.
Someone asked how I grow my hair.
It's all natural.
It is.
She does nothing to it other than shampoo and conditioner. In
all seriousness, I don't even use good shampoo, guys. I use Suave, Tresemme.
It's like a 2-pack for $4.
Yep. Right now, I am trying out a product that I got on Grove that is just supposed to be, I always go for the moisturizing ones because my hair tends to get dry on the ends because it's on my head growing for so long. And so I go for the moisturizing of whatever I get. So there is a more natural, less chemically one from, I can't even remember the brand, that I got on Grove that I'm giving a try. So I use really crappy shampoo and conditioner, and because my hair is like wavy, it can get like lumpy and frizzy because it's so heavy it weighs itself down. You don't see much of the wave, but it can get really frizzy. So I use a leave-in conditioner from Cantu that is just their basic leave-in conditioner. So after I take a shower, I just put some on my hand, put it all over the hair. That's it. I am blessed with good hair. And I don't color treat it ever. I do not color treat my hair. This is all 100% my own color. People have asked because a lot of times you'll see when I have it up in a bun, it's a lot darker here and then my bun is a lot lighter. That's just because it's been on my head a long time. And the sun, because I have red hair, the sun lightens it really well. So it gets more blonde looking. So the newer hair on my head is darker and then what you see in a bun stands out as lighter. And people are like, oh, you do too, color your hair. I'm like, I don't. Way too lazy.
It used to be more red, and when I want to push her buttons, I tell her she should at least dye it back to the original color.
He calls me a brunette sometimes when he wants to make me sad.
It's just push buttons.
I brush it once a day if I'm lucky. That's it.
But it is quite the regimen. You have to do it 100 times in the morning and 100 times in the afternoon and 100 times in the evening with a horsehair brush.
False. I use a really, really cheap, I believe it's Goody brand. Giant, because I have so much hair. It's one of the big paddle brushes. That's it. So now you know about my hair.
And I just use my hand for my hair.
It's true.
And I go like this.
He owns a comb. It's for his beard.
Yeah.
He does not use a comb on his head. It is for his face. Another question that we got on Facebook recently. How you're keeping yourself busy since your surgery?
Oh boy. Well, now I can at least put a mouse in my lap and control it. As you can see, I don't really move my arm much because I don't have any movement. But I can at least put a mouse in my lap. So I've gotten back to gaming again.
That's true.
And I've been putting in probably 10 hours a day doing that. Which replaced watching TV for 20 hours a day.
I really wish that I could hand him my stack of books and tell him, with all this downtime, read these books and then we'll just, you know, transfer by symbiosis. Just give me the knowledge of what's in those books because I've been meaning to read these books for years and I don't have time.
Well, here's the thing. We learn very different ways, and I could read it and try to osmosis it to you, and it would not come out the same because I would interpret what I read completely different than how you would interpret it if you read it.
Anyways, that's it, guys. We are so glad to have all of you here, no matter how long you have been following us. We are just a bunch of crazy people around here. 7 of us. We've got a little suburban homestead we're building up, growing as much of our own food as possible, homeschooling our kids, just kind of living as self-sufficiently and I guess close to nature, kind of holistically as possible. Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to answer them.
Indubitably.
Thank you all for sticking around. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Thumb up it.
And subscribe for more like this. Bye-bye, friends.